The Denver Broncos came into this offseason with already coming off of one of, if not the best defenses in football. And so you're thinking, okay, well, they clearly want to help out their offense, right? That's usually what you do. When you have a strength, you then build on your weaknesses. That's conventional wisdom. That is not what they have been doing this offseason. So first, they went out and they added some key pieces defensively. Some players that I would say there are maybe potentially some risk involved with the guy like Hufanga and Dre Greenlaw, two players who both very good when healthy are coming off of injuries. There's risk there. Well, now they're going to continue to build on their strengths. Not really a risk here. Jahdae Barron is an awesome player, and he's going to be awesome for the Denver Broncos. I think this is a great fit. We'll talk about it when we get into the scheme for just a second. What's so fascinating about this is the corner that they had last year, Pat Surtain, won Defensive Player of the Year last year. They are now adding a potential elite level corner there. I didn't think that they would feel like they needed to upgrade too much from McMillan and Riley Moss, but to be honest, those aren't guys that you can't upgrade from if you want to. And ultimately, we saw with Philadelphia last year, they didn't just draft one corner, they drafted two, kind of with the idea of let's build up here in this department. I think that there is a growing trend. Something I'm constantly beating the table for is I'm always telling people, for cornerbacks, you need more than just two. You need more than just three. You need a lot of these guys because players get injured, and for other positions, you can be okay if you have a guy hurt, right? Defensive tackle, okay, losing a defensive tackle hurts, but ultimately it's kind of less good things that are going to happen for you. For corner, if you're in a situation where you don't have a good corner, that can just be okay, we're out. We're not winning this game. If you have one bad situation, you need depth at that position. So I'm not saying this is a depth move, but just if it is a depth move right away, it's okay. Barron's an awesome player, an absolutely awesome player. And again, we'll get into the film in just a second and talk about it. I will say one thing that I don't know if I talked about this in the film, so I wanted to bring it up now. But one issue that I will bring up here is a bit of an older prospect. This is a guy who is 23 years old, and again, sometimes I care about that, sometimes I don't. For some players or for some situations, it's hey, they've been great for 3 years. Who cares if they're a bit of an older prospect? He was a one-year wonder in 2024. That's really the 1 year he was great. And I think the concern you just have is part of it just because he's played a lot of football, and he's played a lot more football than the guys he's going up against, and that's why he's able to do this stuff. There is that knock. Maybe that's why he fell a little bit, but ultimately, he's a player I just quite frankly love. I think this is a great situation for him. He's a better player than 20th player in this draft class, and I think he's going to end up being a better player than 20th in this draft class. Yeah, rambled for a while. Sorry about that. Let's finally get into the film. Let's start off with this play. So it's going to be a go route in the area that he's designed to cover. It's cover 2 zone. He's the one that route that you see on the screen is going to go into. And this is just, I think, what he does a really good job of is understanding his assignment on specific plays. Because watch how when this play begins. So you see how he covers up that route initially, and at this point, he essentially has covered that route as far as he should. If the route goes too much further, then you have to trust the safety is going to make the play work. But on this play, that route is less of a important route that you're trying to throw to. I mean, hey, if it gets open, throw it to it. But really, the quarterback is going to throw it underneath, and with Barron out of position, maybe something can work out. However, Barron does a great job of reading this, and being back in position had the tackle not been made prior, he probably would have been in position to still make the play work. So again, it's a small play, but it just goes to show he does do all the little things. He's aware of what goes on, and he just understands his assignment. Now, going over to a play like this, ultimately, okay, great. You can do all the little things. You still have to be able to cover straight up, right? Knowing where you're supposed to go is only half the battle. But watch what he does on this play. It's a one-on-one matchup. And as you see when this play begins, you're going to see the receiver go for more of an inside leverage play, but Barron is using his physicality to hang with him. Because of this, he has slowed that receiver down enough that there really isn't an opportunity there. Quarterback throws elsewhere. So, he can do it all, right? He knows what he's supposed to do, but also if it's just a straight-up situation, he can definitely cover that as well. He uses his physicality. Also want to play like this. You have him, you see where he is on the field. I've circled him in white. It's a one-on-one matchup right here. When this play begins, you're going to see that the receiver he's going up against, he's going to be going for a deep route right here. At least that's what he's selling, but that's actually not exactly what he's doing. He's going to run further deep, but then he's going to cut more towards the sideline. Barron has his hips turned towards the middle of the field, so you might think, hey, this is an opportunity here for Florida. However, you're going to notice that when Barron turns his hips, and honestly, he cuts better than the receiver did. Now, the receiver fell down, so that's partially why. It kind of looks like from this angle, maybe there was, contact. No, it was just the receiver fell down, and Barron kind of ran the route better than the receiver did. The throw went elsewhere, and Barron was in position to make a tackle, ultimately decided it was not, worth just getting collided with right there when the play was already made, but still, again, very good job there by Barron. And I also really like a play like this, where what's going to happen is this is going to be a zone coverage play. You see where he is on the field. He's, again, covering the flat towards the top of the screen. When this play begins, you're going to notice that right here. So you see that he's covering the guy who is closest towards his zone, more underneath. So he takes a step in because, hey, you got to make sure you cover that guy, right? It's first down, so you don't want to give up 3 yards right there. So, okay, the Florida quarterback notices this. But he's looking over there, which is really where they want this throw to potentially, that's kind of where they want this to be. Now, I will say there is help over there. So, and actually watch what this player who isn't Barron, he's going to get an interception on this play. Like, watch how when this play begins, he actually kind of undercuts it and gets the pick. But I think Barron was right there to get the pick had that not happened. And certainly, again, he read the play very well, understood his assignment, got the guy he was supposed to covered, and probably would have been down the field to be able to get an interception had it not been taken away by someone else instead. But ultimately, it's understanding your assignment and where you need to go at all times and having the physical tools to be able to make something like this happen. So ultimately, it's just really good stuff here by Barron across the board. Again, kind of guy that checks every box. Is hard to dislike him as a prospect. At least that's what I think about all of this. What do you think about all this? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from y'all. And of course, as always, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed that video and want to hear more of my thoughts, well, for one thing, you can check out my movie channel. Yes, I have a movie channel. You can check the link in the description below. I do some fun things like some movie reviews, even some TV show reviews, tier list, fun things like that, so you can check that out. Also, make sure that you are subscribed and paying attention to this channel, as there will be plenty of draft content. I plan on making a video for every first round pick, many of the other picks throughout the draft, and also I will do recaps for each team after the draft is over. So I will eventually talk about every single pick from your favorite team. Be on the lookout for that, as it will be out this weekend. And also, if you want to follow me on Twitter, you can follow me on Twitter. I am at Jackson Kruger, or X, whatever you prefer to call it. But yeah, that's all I got. Thanks again for watching till the end of the video.